right, what I'm showing you is the very simple two-stop lift with limit switches. Saying it'd be about $50 for this with 2 key fob remotes. Here's how the wiring goes. All right, solid green is going to common. The green and white stripe, that's going to input number 1. The solid brown is also going to input number 1. And the brown and white stripe is going to input number 2. And through the software logic, you can make it. Here's our settings. So we're using parameter number 12. We're setting to 1. We're using speeds 1 and 2. So when both are off and input 1 is connected to common, we run at speed number 1. When input 2 is closed, we reference, so we go just below the green line there. So 2 is on, 3 is off. We reach speed program 2. So 2 is reverse, 1 is forward, and we're not using 3 and 4 speeds. But that's the basic logic. Very, very simple. Now, your emergency stop, you'd run through your switches that need to be closed for it to run. Your safeties would be the common, the green line. And then we have the limit switch inputs, which is the blue box. I'm sorry, the blue terminals right there on the right. So you have the first floor, common, and second floor. And then there's these dip switches down here that we're selecting so that relays will lock. Here's the other ends of the line. So instead of being a normally closed circuit waiting for an open, this one's a normally open circuit looking for the limit switch to close it when it reaches the floor. So let me demonstrate. All right, but the minute I remove this, it'll start. So if you're to shoot past the limit switch, you'd need to have a switch that would remove the common, the green wire, so that it would stop. So that's something to be aware of, but that's just a switch. All right, and then we can stop it is with the C button. Now to go the other direction, to go to the other floor, you hit the B button. Program to go the other direction. So now we take this limit switch. Sorry. Switches would be better. All right, same deal. If I remove this, it's gonna just begin running again. So you'd have to remove, if you're gonna shoot past your limits, you're gonna have a something that breaks common. It's kind of an over limit safety switch. But I've tested it on the sample left here and it works just fine. I mean, you might need to have a longer magnet to keep your magnetic sensor switch closed. So, and wants to see each other. But that's it. That's the wiring. And something like this with 2 key fobs remotes would add $50 to the drive. So it's pretty cheap. The power is this black and white line. Okay, and that's just going right back to the board. Programmer right now is plugged in. but once it's installed, you wouldn't need that. And this, all parameters, acceleration rate, deceleration rate, max speed, min speed, current limits, all that, it's just programmed through the HMI like you would with a GEM remote. So basically what this is a $50 GEM remote. And you can see how big it is. I mean, tiny, fits inside the lid. I just put it in with double stick tape. And so I'll send this to you guys, and you can wire it as I have, and it should work just fine. One thing I will point out, some of the first drives did not have the 12-volt power supply enabled, and there's a solder point right here, which I'll send you a diagram for. What you have to do is sand it off, take away the conformal coating, and then put a drop of solder there. But I'm sure Adam can do that in his sleep. This is just super easy. So anyway, I'll send you this, and then you can in the two remotes, and you can play with it. It's very simple. But for a two-stop cargo lift, there's no reason it wouldn't work just fine that I can see.